Welcome to our welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto Beyond the Couch because life exists beyond the couch.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and X.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it. I am so sorry we missed Trish winning Salty yesterday on RV Unplugged. We did not know until late in the evening that there even was a live stream, and you were still installing something in the truck.
Yeah, so I've been doing a video for the camping channel for our truck. I'm basically making our truck like where you can live in it.
Oh my gosh.
Refrigerator. No,
Right.
No, I'm basically putting power.
Yeah.
I'm putting power inside of the truck.
Ridiculous, but funny.
But you could now, the way I designed our truck now, you could put a tent either next to the truck or on top of it. People do that and have power, have electricity.
Is this like a subtle, like it's a backup plan in case we can't get the house to get fixed up? We're gonna live in the truck.
Backup power.
We're gonna live in a truck in a van down by the river. Everybody.
Welcome to our Thursday live stream. If you are new here, our Thursday live streams are just a chance for us to hang out with our community.
Hello.
Our channel is all about community, so every Thursday, as much as possible, we try to go live and just answer people's questions about keto and carnivore. So the best thing to do, you can ask us pretty much anything within reason, but the best thing to do is type question and then your question, or use the super chat function, which we really do appreciate it when you do that. It helps support the channel, but more importantly, it highlights our screen and lets us know that you have a question. I wanted to start off with, on Monday, one of the questions for Keto Beyond the Couch was about the new erythritol study.
Yes.
If you have not had a chance, go check out the video that Thomas DeLawler uploaded today, where he pretty much debunks it. And he goes, listen, here's the thing. This study, this new study, is put out by the same people who put out the study last year that was debunked by everybody because it was just a ridiculous study. So on this study, they're like, fine, last year wasn't good enough. Let's do this one. And they drew blood, but then they were injecting chemicals into the blood. And he's like, that doesn't happen in the human body. So also, these same people did a study last year trying to say that xylitol was horrible for you. And so what I was saying on Monday is the same thing that he's saying, which is we need to think about why are they putting these studies out. It's like they're trying to make a case against erythritol, but they can't make the case, so they're making up things, or they were giving only 20 people too, ridiculously insane amounts, very much like the sucralose study. But go check out Thomas DeLawler's video because it's really, really good. Because he said when he first saw it, he was like, I was ready to throw out all my erythritol. Then when he started reading the study, he was like, wait a second, this is nonsense.
We've got to stop for a second and consider, like, why would somebody not want us to use a sugar alternative to begin with? And
because even in the study, they make the case, but see, this doesn't happen when you have sugar.
Like,
why are you saying
we might
that?
as well just eat sugar, people. Obviously, that is the deduction that's the conclusion that we should come to. How do I make these people stop not eating sugar? How do we go back to eating sugar and making money off of that thing?
I don't know. So anyway, so go check out that video. Also, we wanted to apologize. I know we had said we're going to try to start doing something at least once every other week on our camping channel on Wednesdays.
But this Wednesday.
But we didn't do anything this Wednesday, which it turned out it was fine because RV Unplugged was doing something anyway.
We had no idea we would have.
But we are closing on Monday on our house, but we didn't know that until about 3 hours ago.
Yes.
Because it was back and forth. Are we closing Friday? Are we closing Monday? When are we closing? What's going on? The old owner still hasn't gotten all of his stuff out. We're hoping it's out on Monday.
Or I'm going to be helping him pack. I think.
Our agent said they're finally mowing the lawn because it hasn't been mowed since we first saw the house.
It's probably as tall as me.
And so we've just been trying to get a lot of stuff ready because we've got so much to go on, but we still have our channel to run. We still have a lot of other things going on. So I just needed to get some of these videos edited and stuff, and we just didn't have a chance to go live.
Okay, enough about you. Let's see what everybody else is doing.
So I did see Trish said I have steakums in the dehydrator now.
Nice.
Took turkey breast slices. Let me put this on the screen. Took turkey breast slices out a little while ago. Never dehydrated these before. They're great, but a little dangerous on the gums. Yeah, so I find the same thing. The lunch meats, they're too thick to make it like a carnivore chip. And what happens is they just cut my gums. So you've got to get it super thin, and that's difficult because most lunch meats are not thin enough.
I didn't give you any, but I will share with you that I used an ultra thin ham and an ultra thin chicken breast.
Ultra thin will work because it's got to be 1 to 2 millimeters.
It was like the cheap stuff. Like it was very, very thin. However, it came out really crunchy and delicious. So we're used to, when we're buying lunch meat, to eat it as lunch meat, or wrap. Oh, somebody's car is going to.
I think it's your son's.
Probably Anthony. To wrap a pickle or something, I make sure that I use the thicker stuff.
Right.
But if you're trying to dehydrate it and make it super crunchy, use thin.
Yeah, because the thick stuff is just, you're not going to be able to chew it very well, especially if you don't have great teeth.
Yes, Denise is asking if we're doing a live on the 29th. Is that?
No.
Is that?
Are we talking about August 29th? Hold on. Let me pull up the calendar.
Let me check.
Because I don't remember what day.
I don't have my phone on me.
Well, I don't have a calendar here. Oh, here it is.
It's good.
It needs to pull up.
It's pulling up.
Okay,
there you go.
So here we go. August 29th. Probably not. We'll probably be doing the live on the 28th.
Wednesday.
Because the 29th, at the time we're normally doing our live stream, we will be on a flight to Seattle because we're going to Alaska.
Right. So probably the 28th.
Yeah.
So if you've got a special request on the 28th.
Because we don't land in Seattle until like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night Seattle time. So we will definitely not be doing a live stream on the 29th. It's just not possible because our flight leaves here at like 5 o'clock in the evening.
So we'll on the 28th.
Yeah. So
the ultra thin meat, I dehydrate them same as I do for my meat thins, like 4 hours. And dehydrator, you can go and check on it if you want, like in between. So after 4 hours, if you want to check on it and just say like, how are you guys doing in there? Or leave it for another hour if you'd like. But 4 hours seem to work really good.
Yeah.
If
you have it really thin, it won't hurt you to go longer. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to make beef jerky, going longer results in teeth breakers.
Right. Teeth breakers.
Dorothy said, has anyone seen the deli slicer and meat grinder that some Walmart stores are selling in the sporting goods department? Was wondering if they're any good, at least to start out with. I have not seen those. If you're looking for a deli slicer, a cheap deli slicer, just go on Amazon. You can, the Cuisinart ones, they're literally all the same.
Yeah.
They're all the same. The ones that range between $60 to $100, they're all the same. They're just rebranded. The problem with them is most of them are only 10 inches, so you don't have, or even 8 inches, so you can't put big pieces of meat. And then they don't have a really powerful motor, so you can't slice frozen meat. And if you're trying to slice it super thin, like 1 to 2 millimeters, you want it to be partially frozen. It will work. It's just gonna take you a lot longer. So I mean, we have the bigger one, but I know not everybody has the room for it because it is a fairly large size. And as far as meat grinders, again, unless you're going to buy a big meat grinder, I would just say get one of like the ones you find on Amazon. I haven't seen the one in Walmart. I would always recommend to people, do not use your KitchenAid for a meat grinder.
It really burns it out.
You'll burn the motor out. Yes, they say you can do it, but it's like if you're going to grind like a half a pound of meat. But if you're going to grind on a regular basis, if you're going to try to make, a bunch of sausage or something like that, you're going to burn out the motor. It's not designed for that.
It's not designed for us ketos and carnivores. They don't know how much meat we're supposed to be eating.
Vicky and Ryan
Hi,
said,
Vicky and
hope
Ryan.
your farmstead is coming along. Good luck. Hope the hurricane didn't flood you out. So we don't own it yet. Monday. We own it Monday.
Sunday,
and then the work begins.
Walkthrough.
No, Monday walkthrough. Monday is ridiculous. So we're going to bring the RV up. We're going to stay at an RV park that's close to the house. It's only like 10 minutes away. So that's where we're going to stay tomorrow. And then on Monday, we will do Keto Be on the Couch live.
Yes,
I've arranged that with the realtor. So we're going to do Keto Be on the Couch from the RV live on Monday. Right after we're done with Keto Be on the Couch, it's a loose connection somewhere. Right after Keto Be on the Couch, we will go do the walkthrough of the property, and then we will close on the property.
Hey, Chris Miller.
And then hope that they actually did everything they're supposed to do. John said, how'd the closing go? Have your hands recovered from singing all the...
Signing them?
Yeah, signing them. No.
Yeah,
Again, we haven't closed yet.
There are so many papers that you have to sign.
Yep.
And I know you should be really good and read every single minute detail, but does anybody really do that?
No, and that's what companies
bank on.
For example, okay, not that this is an RV channel, but did you know if you go buy a brand new RV, one of the things that is in that whole package that you're buying the RV, and it's buried in tiny print towards the end, is that if you have a problem with the RV,
okay,
you have to sue the manufacturer in the state it was made in, which in most cases is Indiana.
So I got to go to Indiana.
You got to go file the lawsuit in Indiana, which is kind of very prone towards the RV industry, so you almost always lose the lawsuit.
Ooh, that's
so even if you bought it in Florida, you have to go sue them in Indiana. So you have to find a lawyer in Indiana. You have to file the lawsuit in Indiana. That's right now, there was just a case in California where a judge said, nope, nonsense. You can sue here. You bought it here. And he was like, nobody should be expected to read that, which I was kind of like, what kind of judge says nobody should be expected to read something that you're putting in your name? They're like, but they were like, it was just the way it was buried and everything else. They said, no, you should be allowed to sue
on purpose.
Here. But yeah, so it's a lot of people don't read documents, and that's what ends up happening is that you signed something you didn't know.
Well, you know what? I can make sure that I read all the time and never get fooled? The ingredients on the food I'm eating.
That's true.
That's very important. So, okay, fine. I don't need to read 25 pages worth of something, but I can read the little print, even if I have to bring a magnifying glass with me to the grocery store, all the things on the boxes.
Sabrina said, instead of sending Joe to the doghouse, you could just send him to the truck while you're remodeling.
That is exactly right.
Denise said, question, tasty review. Yeah, we just have to edit it. We have a lot of things going on.
I will say, should we say it's good?
Well, we've said it's good.
Well, we've been eating out of it and it is delicious.
Because we really have put it to the test. We've made the decision that if we're going to review appliances, it's not going to be an unboxing, open it up. Yet this works great because we got burned with an ice maker.
So
it was great. Then it worked for 2 weeks. So we wanted to make sure we use it.
It's not going to look brand new because it's not brand new.
No, we've cooked a bunch of things in it.
It's battle damaged now.
Yeah. So our final test was with steaks using the temperature probe. It works really well. Now it's not a giant one. It's not as big as our big Kasori.
But you know what?
It's perfect for two people. I fit 2 nice sized New York strip steaks in it.
Do you know what the feedback?
It's about all it fit.
I usually get.
What?
Is the stuff you're doing is too big.
Yeah.
The stuff you're doing, I don't need that much. I don't eat that much. I couldn't possibly use that much. So I feel like we finally
making 6 pounds of just beef chili the other day is...
That's not a normal human thing.
I made keto chow chili the other day, but the only thing in it was beef and then chili powder. What else did I put in it? Keto chow, bone broth, and I didn't put bacon in it. I didn't put onions in it. I didn't put garlic in it. I didn't put peppers.
Came out delicious.
It was delicious. It was literally just beef. I made 6 pounds of it.
Yeah, most people don't make 6 pounds of chili in a sitting, but
I don't have to cook now.
But Joe is like, if I'm going to get the pot out, I might as well feed an army with it.
Sarah said, today Matt shared about you guys to a coworker and he subscribed.
Wow.
He's always talking keto. That's awesome.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank Trish said, by the way, I spun that chunky allulose into my Vitamix and it came out beautifully powdered. Good.
Awesome.
I'm glad.
Perfect.
So, if you guys saw the vlog from diving. And Rachel made blondies. And I said, don't ever make those again. Guess what I told her to make?
Don't blame me.
So I'm going to say it again. Please, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, no matter how much I beg, no matter, even if I say like, hey, I'll take no sex for a year. Do not make those again because they're too good. But I will say they work. Allulose, did you share the recipe for them?
Yeah.
Okay, because it works even better with allulose.
I feel like I did.
Okay.
I'll make a batch and give it away to somebody else so that I could show the recipe. How about that?
Sounds good. They're so good. But use allulose. It's even better because it just had the perfect sweetness.
Yeah, because the first time I used Bocha Sweet, and he's like,
too sweet.
He thinks it's too sweet. And then I used allulose, and he liked that.
Matt said, yes, I did. He's keto. So I talked about your channel and gave him a pack of salty to try.
How nice.
He said he was going to look salty up on the internet.
How awesome. Matt, what an ambassador for keto.
Yeah, John for the sugar thing because they want us to consume carbs.
Exactly.
You know, I'd love to know who's funding that company that's doing those studies.
Oh, Dr. Berry had a great post where it was just like, Coke wants you to use medicine. Who would have thought? Like, I wonder why.
Yeah, Dr. Nelson's here. Said sugar is the root of all evil, all metabolic evil, that is.
So true.
So Denise said, are you going to do okay, we read that one. See what happened when we look ahead? Andy's here, said we're having friends over this weekend, and they are both on Ozempic and other medication to lose weight. Should be some interesting talks.
What I would suggest is talk about other things. Because, you know, we ran into that a couple of times at RV Unplugged. And you know what? There were other things to visit about. And some of the people that we talked to felt like they were happy where they are right now. And I just wanted to talk to them. And there were so many other things to talk about. You know, so everybody's on a different place in their journey. Yep. And, you know, listen, I don't think anybody's changing just because I would say something.
People are touting Ozempic to be a miracle drug. And I do think it is a miracle drug when it's used as intended, not for weight loss. Yeah. The problem is just there's too many unknowns with it when it comes to weight loss. It's a much higher dose than it was ever designed. We are the guinea pigs on it. And unfortunately, when we are obese, we get desperate. And
truly.
So trying to convince somebody who is desperate that this may not be the answer is going to be kind of difficult. And you want to enjoy the time you're going to be together.
Absolutely.
Sean's here said, Matt, we're staying at the boardwalk. I guess he's going to Disney. He said we should be getting there on the 11th or 12th of January and leaving on the 18th. Well, make sure you get a hold of us, Sean, because that's about the time of the Florida RV Super Show.
Oh, so we might be up in that area?
We'll only be 45 minutes from Orlando for the RV Super Show.
We totally have to creep into Sean's vacation. We've got to see Sean and Michelle.
Mommy is here. Said, what days are you guys going to Alaska? I thought it was September 6th. No, we are leaving. We're going to be gone for Rachel's birthday.
Right.
So the whole idea of this trip was it was Rachel's Christmas present to celebrate her birthday in Alaska. And then Chris and Miriam are coming because it's also Miriam's birthday. So we are leaving on the 29th. I think the ship leaves on the 30th. And then we get home like the following Saturday. At which point we will probably go straight up to start working on the house. We were supposed to be going to Hershey.
Yeah. But that's just not humanly possible.
I know people are disappointed we're not going to Hershey, but it's like we can only do so many different things. I really did want to go to Hershey.
I've tried,
especially because we're out of soap from Lancaster, and I want more of that soap.
I have very much tried to split myself in half recently to be able to accomplish more things at once, and it just has not worked.
Oh, Patty's here. She said, I'll already be in Seattle. Patty's actually going on the same cruise that we are.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Patty, I promise I won't make it weird, but I'll make it a little weird.
Carrie wants to know what flavor salty do you have?
I have none. I have just plain water. I didn't even put bubbles in it because I was afraid I would burp too much.
Jamie said 15 days into August and I was all, wait, why are they walking about the future?
Or talking about the future? Yeah, because it's already mid-August. which seems impossible.
John said bacon jerky is great for road trip rations. 90% of what I eat when I'm driving, along with a couple of cheese sticks.
We usually keep bacon jerky on the ready. I made meat thins this week to take with us, and I'm also going to be taking the Carnivore bar and some hot dogs.
Angie said, I got my Soda Stream for my birthday and Mountain Dew Zero flavors. They're really good. That's kind of my go-to if I'm going to make a soda with the Soda Stream. Mostly it's seltzer water, but every once in a while, I just really like that Mountain Dew one. Dorothy Jones said, the meat slicer at Walmart is only 7.5-inch blade, and it costs $68. The meat grinder is a 700-watt. It comes with a sausage stuffer and is stainless steel.
What do you think about that?
So I'd probably go on Amazon and find a 10-inch one. You can find one for between $70 to $100. For the meat grinder, it will work for meat grinding. I wouldn't try to stuff sausage. It's not going to be powerful enough to get good sausage because the meat's going to really heat up quickly because it just doesn't have a powerful motor. Make sure that meat, if you are going to, even grinding it, make sure it's super cold. If it's not super cold, then all the fat is just going to coagulate. So you want to get the meat super cold and also take the entire apparatus for the meat grinder itself, like the whole guts and everything, put all that in the freezer for a little while first.
Jesse said, I'm not going to be able to drink salty or element directly after my tonsillectomy. So what electrolyte capsules do you recommend? Keto Chow.
Keto Chow.
Yeah.
Which is also salty.
And I was talking to somebody today about their cousin who does not like flavored drinks. Is very, very choosy about flavored drinks. And so I mentioned to them about if you know somebody that just doesn't like a lot of flavored drinks, the capsules from Keto Chow are fantastic. I mean, Redmond has ones too, but I tend to get the Keto Chow ones the mostest.
Trish said Bob read the entire contract last time we bought a house. It was 26 years ago. He still may be reading it.
But that's good. That's smart. Nobody can sneak something into it. My mom actually caught a contract where they were going to not put the refrigerator in. That they were just, and I think that that's something that you would take for granted would be coming along with the house. And she read it and was like, wait a second. This is implying there's no refrigerator. And then she checked, and the seller at that time was like, yeah, no, we really like our refrigerator. We're going to take it. And she's like, well, wait, whoever
and that
has
is
a house.
Yeah, because that should be in the contract. Because generally when you buy a house, I was a real estate agent. That's how I put myself through college. Laws are very different now. And I know now there's a whole new law with real estate, and you have a seller agent, a buyer agent, and all that. But it was always that. And if there's an agent, correct me if it's changed, but if it's in the house, if it's attached to the house, it's assumed to stay unless written that it's not staying. Like ceiling fans, things like that, it's a permanent attachment unless you specifically state in the contract that it's not coming. So that was one of the things with our house is there's a shed, a big shed in the back, and it's in the photos of all the listing, and nowhere does it say in the thing that it's not included. Now, the seller verbally told us that he's taking it with him.
Right.
But it's nowhere written. So we wrote it in there. We wrote that it must go, and that if it is still there on the day we close, like you weren't able to get a company to move it, it's ours. If it's there the day we close, it now belongs to us. We also had to put a very unique clause into our buying contract.
That 450-pound wild hog that's in the backyard that is fenced in, because I guess at one point it was a cute little piglet and now it's a giant
wild boar
with tusks. That goes with you.
Yep.
Or that is bacon.
That is not going to be good bacon. I mean, wild hog in itself isn't the best.
It's tough.
If you're going to go hunting for wild hog, like I know you want me to take you hunting for hog,
but it's not gonna,
you want the babies. You don't want any wild hog over about 125 pounds, or it is going to be just horrible
gamey
meat. It's going to be really gamey. Yeah. So I can't even imagine. That thing's probably about 15 years old. I can't even imagine what that thing would taste like. And who knows what he's been feeding it. Janice saying congratulations on the upcoming adventure.
Thank you. We can't wait to show you guys everything.
Yeah, Jamie said, by law, if you're a normal person buying something from a company and they put something different than normal in a contract, It is void. That's good to know. I did not know that.
That is good to know.
Vicky and Ryan said, I tried slicing frozen meat with one I have. Man, could have sliced it faster with a machete. Yeah, it was painfully slow. Meat didn't come out. Yeah, that's the problem when you don't have a really good motor. If you want to slice frozen meat, you need at least a 250 to 300 horsepower motor. Exposing Darkness Zero said the abrupt ending at RV Unplugged was weird. The after show for the last episode was a disappointment.
I'm sorry.
It was, unfortunately, it was live. It was a live thing. They did try to, like, they didn't sit down and talk because it was a party. They did have people up there and talking to them a little bit, but again, it was live. So they tried to put like a bunch of like cameras and video it, but the audio was horrible. So they turned it off, and then I think they just deleted it because you couldn't understand anything.
But you know what? I think they totally redeemed themselves yesterday with like a ton of giveaways. So that's kind of like a nice...
And I love it when 2KK family wins.
I know, me too.
Sean said, boy, I've been having a rough August. After the concert, I fell. I sprained my knee. Monday, I had a really bad case of vertigo. Wednesday, I had a metal flake in my eye that scratched my cornea.
Oh, my gosh, Sean. I am so sorry. My gracious.
I was just watching something. When we were in Orlando, I was talking to Steve, my buddy, all about welding. Because, like, Steve's just got all the cool gadgets. And so he's teaching me a little bit about like things that I want to learn about welding because it's something I'm trying to pick up. And I was watching a video about, I bought this course, like Learn to Weld in a Day. It's actually pretty good.
That sounds dangerous.
But one of the things that he talks about is that, you know, when you're cutting, and I'm really bad about not wearing safety glasses. I've tried to get better at that.
Yes,
but
please
when
do.
I'm grinding metal, I always do.
Okay.
But one of the things he's talking about, and I've experienced this, even when you wear safety glasses, like the science goggles, not the science goggles, but just like the ones we would have for weed eating, somehow the metal always gets up underneath and still hits me in the eye.
Oh.
So what he was showing was these ones that literally seal, almost like
goggles,
like a ski goggle, all the way up against so that nothing can go in, and then he wears the face shield.
Can we please do that?
Possibly.
The only thing is, because that's not like a cut on your head, ha ha ha, you always bump your head. No, it's pretty bad. Like, you could go blind.
Yeah, and I've had things in my eye.
Yeah.
John said my next road trip is from Southwest Missouri to Florida.
Oh.
About a 20-hour drive nonstop in December for the 2KK cruise. I'll have at least 5 pounds of bacon jerky. By the way, is bacon jerky allowed on the ship?
Usually they don't let you have anything that isn't packaged. Like you can't bring things from home. So like if you bought bacon jerky from like Carnivore crisps or chips, then you would be able to bring it because it's in a package.
So by rule,
yeah,
it's supposed to be packaged food. Mm-hmm. With that being said, and I'm not telling you to break the rules, I'm telling you what I've done. I vacuum seal it. So we have brought bacon jerky, carnivore chips, things like that, stuff that we have made, and I vacuum seal them, and they've never given us an issue. And we've done, 6 or 7 cruises. The worst that's going to happen is they're going to throw it out. But again, it's only going through like an airport security screening, only not nearly as secure as an airport. They're just kind of screening stuff. So if you vacuum seal it, you probably won't have a problem.
Okay, so that's Joe's opinion. My opinion and advice would be make sure you finish all of the bacon jerky before you get to the cruise.
Okay.
Because I think that, you know, if you're one of those people that's like me and you're just not lucky, they're probably going to pull yours and say, hey, you can't bring things from, you know, home. So I will say, though, I haven't had any trouble taking bacon off of the, like whenever we go to the buffet in the morning. And we can take some Ziploc bags, pack Ziploc bags in your carry-on or in your luggage. And I've taken bacon jerky, or not bacon jerky, but bacon off of the cruise ship itself.
You're also not supposed to do that either.
But I haven't been stopped for that.
Yeah, because they're usually pretty lenient unless you're breaking some major rules. Like, do not try to bring a power strip that's got surge protector on there.
An iron.
No CBD.
No gummies or anything.
If it's legal even if you're in a state like Florida where marijuana is not legal, but CBD oil gummies and things are,
No.
you cannot have any CBD on a cruise ship. Not only will they take it from you, they will not allow you to board the ship.
Right.
They will not give you a refund, and you could get banned for life.
So check any supplements that you have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you use anything
like
for
no alcohol,
sleep.
except for you can bring a bottle of wine.
Right.
But yeah, so those are the kind of things that like be very, very careful of that kind of stuff. No knives. You can bring like little scissors like for like your nose hairs. Or cuticle scissors, I guess is what you actually call them. It's not what I use them for, but I don't understand why I have hair in my nose, but I do. Nose in my ear. I have no hair on my head, but...
You can grow hair in your nose like nobody's business.
But regular scissors and stuff, they won't let you bring on the ship.
Hey, Dustin. Happy anniversary.
Vicky and Ryan said, wish I could find a cheapo Dreamy.
Oh, like you mean a creamy?
Too much for old. Lots for sale on Facebook Marketplace up here, 3 states away.
So looking for a cheap creamy. I'm thinking that you want one of those creamy ice cream makers.
Andy said, Rachel, I finally made a grape keto chow that you gave me on the cruise.
What'd you think?
Mixing in a creamy with peanut butter keto chow. I'll do a review on it. Thank you. The grape smells really good.
That is all for you and Joe.
I think they should have grape salty.
No.
That would be awesome.
I'm sorry. Thanks for playing. The answer we were looking for is not grape.
Denise said, I need room for at least 2 big ribeyes. The one I'm borrowing is 8 quart and half the price. I don't even remember what size that is. I don't even think this is an 8 quart. It depends on how big you call a big ribeye. Like I said, I cooked 2 pretty large New York strips like this in it, and it fit fine. I actually had room for the 3rd one, but I don't like to crowd the meat when we're cooking it.
Don't crowd the meat.
Dorothy said, I've always made keto chili without knowing I was making keto chili because beans are yuck.
Well, and it's just a filler.
Chili is not actually supposed to have beans
Right?
in it.
It's supposed to be chili con carne. Is that what it is? That it's carne is just the
chili
meat?
is just meat. It's not supposed to have beans. Somewhere, somehow, people started adding beans to it, and probably because of a filler.
People came over unannounced. You had extra guests one night. You had a barbecue, and someone said, oh, do you mind if I bring this person and that person? And of course, the initial person cooking chili wanted to be a nice host. So said, yes, the more the merrier, whether they meant that or not. Yeah. They said the more the merrier.
Anytime I think of filler foods.
What are we going to do? We've got to add elbow macaroni, spaghetti noodles, some potatoes, or you have to
Isn't
put
that what
beans.
Hamburger Helper was? It was just a way to stretch the ground beef.
Yes.
Anytime I think of some kind of food or filler food to stretch the meat, I can't help but think about the Roseanne episode where it was like take a kid to work day, and she took the kids to the grocery store because she was a homemaker, and she's like, I'm going to show you how to turn 1 pound of ground beef into like a family of whatever size it was, and it was like throwing bags of potato chips into the meat.
I mean,
that's all it is. It's a way to stretch the meat.
The things we did to stretch when we were raising the kids.
We figured out how to raise a family of 5 on $3 a day.
Not well.
It wasn't good.
Not well. We weren't healthy.
We survived. We just weren't healthy.
But I don't advise it.
Okay, Linda said, can you explain why a type 2 diabetic has a drop in sugar causing cold sweats and the best treatment? Okay, first of all, let's make sure everybody understands this. We are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. We're 2 idiots who put ourselves on YouTube. Everything we talk about is based on our own personal experience, what we learned as becoming certified master health coaches, as well as talking to people who are doctors, nurses, and health professionals. Now, I don't know if you're missing something in the question. So when you're saying a type 2 diabetic, are you talking about a type 2 diabetic who was a type 2 diabetic and now they're on keto? Why would they have a drop in blood sugar? Are you still on medication?
Yeah.
If you are a type 2 diabetic and you are on medication, whether it be taking metformin or even on insulin, you have to very, very severely watch your blood sugar because very quickly you're not going to need that medication.
No.
And if you are taking that medication and you're on keto, that medication is designed to lower your glucose, but you're on keto, which is also lowering your glucose. So you could end up with a very low glucose. And if you have low glucose, that will lead to getting very cold and like just not being very comfortable. So if you're on medication, that could be why you may have to be adjusting the dose. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I would tell you what I would do is I would monitor the dose myself and slowly reduce things on my own. But if you have a doctor, you might want to consult your doctor and just let them know, hey, take a look at my glucose and it's going too low with this medication. I would also recommend, if you're a type 2 diabetic, get your hands on a CGM. Tell your doctor you want one. If your doctor won't give you one, go to Testimonial. There's a link down below. You can get one for a $39 prescription plus the cost of your CGM. And if you're a type 2 diabetic, your insurance company will pay for it anyway. But that's the way you want to monitor it. And it would also be a good thing to bring to your doctor and be like, hey, I got my hands on a CGM.
What's happening.
Look at this. Look at where my glucose is. And they'll even be able to see where you're taking the medication and they'll adjust it. But if it was me, I would just adjust my own medication.
Well, particularly you need to keep eyes on it if you're planning on doing more of a meat-heavy protocol for keto like we do. Because we've seen people when they do kind of like our elimination challenge of beef, butter, bacon, and egg, had to deprescribe medication very quickly, like within 7 or 8 days, like that quickly.
Risa wants to know, is mommy going with y'all to Alaska?
No, she's not going to Alaska. She is going on a cruise.
She is going on a cruise
with Caleb.
She's taking Caleb on a cruise for his graduation.
For his college graduation.
John said, talk about how Carnivore or Ketovore gets Ozempic results without the side effects, or at least mention it. That's for the what we were talking about earlier. Joe said she needs to make the blondies one more time for a video.
That's right, Joe.
If you need to get rid of them, the batch afterwards, give me a call.
I love
I'll
you,
pick them
Joe.
up.
Yeah, I'm going to make it one. Well, Mommy wanted to try them too.
If you make them, I'm going to eat them. I'm not sharing them.
Well, I won't tell you.
Okay.
I'll just do it.
Jen said, hi fam, much love from Ohio this evening. Joined a little late and caught up now. Rachel's embarrassment. You two are too funny.
Jen, you always apologize for what comes out of my mouth. And you never think about, sometimes you say something.
It's still nothing compared to you. Angie said, I cheer every single person making a step towards health.
Yes.
You lost 0.25?
High five.
Jennifer said, do you know when you're going to be at Alliance in May? It is, so I don't know exactly when, but I do know this much so far. I can tell you about next May that we know. We will be at which conference? Meat conference.
We will be in Nashville for the Meat Stock.
Meat Stock.
Conference.
So we will be at Nashville for Meat Stock, which is in the middle of May. After that, we have not decided if we're going to fly there and stay in a hotel or if we're going to bring our RV, which I think is more of what we're leaning towards, is bring the RV, stay somewhere in Nashville. Maybe we can hit up Dr. Barry and Nisha to be on the farm. I don't know.
Can we sleep in your backyard?
Please. So we'll probably take the RV to Nashville for meat stock and then slowly work our way up to Indiana. And that would be Memorial Day weekend. Is that week for the last week of May is when we will be in Indiana. So if there's something going on between meat stock and that, we'll be up in that neck of the woods. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, Jennifer.
I was just thinking that if we were in Nashville, I could actually call ahead and see if I could get you locked inside of Dr. Barry's barn.
That would be a funny video. Yeah, so we'll pretty much be on the road for most of May next year in the RV. Denise said, my niece did the surgery. Yes, she's lost weight and looks wonderful, but what a price to pay. The doctors all told her that her pain was because she was fat and she lost the weight, pain go away. No.
Gosh, that's very harsh.
Unfortunately, it's just... It's a solution. You now have even insurance companies not even making people go through all of the therapy they used to have to go through. I mean, Dr. Barry's even talking about gallbladder. So many doctors just rip a gallbladder out when if you just began eating more fat, sometimes it would reactivate the gallbladder.
Why would somebody say, well, you're just in pain because we're fat?
It was the doctor.
That's mean.
Because they were saying that when you lose the weight, the pain will go away. But she's saying it didn't go away.
Like how they talk.
Sean said, I would love to do a meetup with y'all, the Floridians, while I'm there. Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
John said, did you guys get the soap at the Green Dragon?
Yes. No. Yes, we got some soap at Green Dragon. You're talking about in Lancaster?
No, I'm talking about the liquid soap. That did not come from the Green Dragon.
I know, but
that came from the milk place.
I know what you're saying, but I also got some like bar soap
Yes.
from that Green Dragon.
Yeah.
It was a market.
Yes.
That's so cool that you know that, John.
The soap that we had gotten, if you watch the video where we went, I think it was it was the one where you were petting all the goats. That's where we got it. It's really
cute.
good soap. We just ran out. We literally just ran out.
I just squirted the last.
Jesse said, I'm probably not going to be able to drink salty. Oh, you read that one already. Angie said bacon jerky works on a plane, too.
Oh, good to know.
Sean said the doctor was checking me out for a metal flake in my eye. Asked what happened to my knee, and I told her that I was playing crazy test dummy this month.
You mean like crash test dummy? I actually was on. I'm in an article in Sports Illustrated years ago from the 90s as a crash test dummy. My dad goes, well, it's official. You're a dummy. We have it. But I was in a article they were doing about Zach Thomas from the Miami Dolphins, and I was helping with a photo spread, and they're like, we need to take a picture of him with 2 crash test dummies. Would you guys be willing to dress up like one? So of course, yes.
It figures.
Of course I would.
Okay, so Mommy answered this question, so I'll read it because we weren't saying anything.
I'll read it.
She wrote it. So Rachel's mom is moving with us, but she's going to Winter Haven and to Arcadia. It's about an hour apart.
That tells you how much more expensive it is to live in South Florida than any other part of Florida.
Because you can buy 2 homes for the price of 1.
2 houses for the price of 1. Yes. So she's going to have a house in Arcadia and then a house in Winter Haven where my brother is hoping to move.
So, we talk about community is important. And you can see this is where it comes from. Because for us, like, family is everything. Community is everything. Don't do life alone. That's why we really focus on community. And so, everybody's going except for Anthony, which is kind of depressing.
Yes.
But he's getting married. So we weren't going to see him anyway.
Right. Maybe in a year or so.
Let's see. Jesse said, wait, should I ask Chris Bear that question? I don't know what that was for.
I don't know.
Let's see. I don't think Chris is here tonight.
You could make Jamie believes that you could tenderize that boar.
No. Dorothy said, I'm 6 months from paying off my house.
Yay.
I'm so happy and stoked that I was able to do it on my income and that being my pay from Walmart. Pinched a lot of pennies, but it will be worth it.
So stinking worth it, Dorothy. And that's our desire too, is part of sustainability is making sure that we have no bills. We don't want to have to owe on anything. So we're going to sell our house here because it will sell for more than the property.
Yeah.
I mean, the house and the property. It's kind of nuts, but I mean, I'm thankful for this opportunity. But that's our desire is just to stay debt free.
Yep. Keto Karen said, question, I'm 20 days carnivore, no gallbladder, having some diarrhea. Should I get some ox bile or what? So Dr. Berry has some great videos on doing keto or carnivore with no gallbladder. So again, understand that your gallbladder helps you with bile, gives you bile to help you deal with the fat. You're consuming a lot of fat, and so it can cause diarrhea. So ox bile can help. Spacing the fat out can also help instead of eating a lot of fat in one sitting. I don't know why you're doing carnivore. I mean, you might want to try adding a little bit of veggies, unless you're doing carnivore for a specific reason. But I would definitely go check out some of Dr. Berry's videos. You can absolutely do keto and carnivore on without a gallbladder. You just have to make a couple of modifications.
My friend Beth had to like stretch out how she consumes the fat because she had.
Lady Fritzer said I saw those ceiling goggles at Harbor Freight on sale this week for members.
Well, hello. Oh, that reminds me. I need to get some better gloves because remember.
Gloves.
Oh, did you get one more that had more?
I did not get another pair, but I have about 5 sets of gloves, and there's a Harbor Freight 2 minutes from the house.
Okay, good. Because they had some on sale, but the ones that were really nice were not on sale, and I didn't want to buy them unless they were on sale.
They're still not on sale. I
know, but
they didn't have your size in the other ones.
I was hoping that they'd go on sale before we had to use them.
The stuff in Harbor Freight that usually goes on sale is the stuff that nobody wants. It's like the low end stuff.
I hate to think that I'm paying full price for something.
It's Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
You're already getting a discount. Jesse said, question for anyone with a Kasori dehydrator. We have one. We had a horrible bacon grease spill in the bottom, and it needs a deep clean. Has anyone taken apart to clean, and how difficult is it? It's not going to be that difficult. It's literally a metal box. It's about 8 screws. We've had that before. What we did, we just put like a whole bunch of like degreaser down there and kept wiping it out. If you take off the back panel, you'll be able to get to pretty much anything missing. Just make sure you unplug it first.
Yes.
But everything is pretty much, you have the fan on the back, all the electronics on the top, but the sides and the bottom, it's just literally a metal box. That's all it is. It's super easy to take apart. Jennifer said, encouraging young people to go into welding. I always had a tough time finding welders to hire.
So Alan, Sarah's husband, I think I saw Sarah's in here. He's been a welder, and I was just chatting with him. They came down for the RV Unplugged finale rally and Keto Orlando Summit. We were just chatting because he's been a welder for years, and I've talked to a lot of people down here that they've had to go out of state to even find welders, and certainly to get schooling. So that is definitely something. I'm telling you, if you've got young people in your life, or you're looking for a second career for this second chapter of your life, welding or be a butcher. Those things. Like, it seems like it's very hard to find, people that will do that. And people pay top dollar.
And electricians. And plumbers.
Yep.
Because it's a dirty job. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing about that stuff. When you need an electrician, you have no choice. If if your toilet is stopped up at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, you're paying $250 to $300 an hour.
Yeah, I'm not just living with it. There's some things I'll do without, but a flushing toilet is not one of those things.
Okay, Trish said we had no problem bringing bacon jerky on, but it is supposed to be prepackaged. That's pretty much what I said. Jen said, probably a stupid question, but I made a goal for 10,000 steps per day at a desk job. Is it okay to do this 7 days per week, or do you need a rest day every... No, you do not need a rest.
No.
You should be moving every single day. A minimum of 30 minutes every single day.
I think that is fantastic.
It's movement.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What you want to rest is workouts, like resting parts of your body. You need to rest your muscles. If you do cardio, which is not great for weight loss, just good for your heart and for your cardiovascular system.
And your soul.
But if you're going to do cardio, you never want to exceed 180 minus your age on your heart rate. So if you're 50 years old, you want to keep your heart rate under 130 beats per minute, because you don't want to tax your heart. Then once every 7 to 10 days, you're going to do a sprint session where you're going to go balls to the wall for 15 to 20 seconds, like as hard as you can. You're going to get that heart rate skyrocketing. Then you rest until your heart rate gets back to normal, usually about 3 or 4 minutes. Then you do it again, but you only do that 3 to 5 times, and then you don't do it again for another 7 to 10 days, because your heart is the only muscle that you really can't rest.
You cannot rest it.
You can't not use your heart. Like,
No.
if you overwork your legs, you can just sit down and not use them, but you can't do that to your heart. So make sure you don't tax your heart. But just as far as walking, you do it every day. And make sure you get out in the sun with, I'm going to get hit for this one, with as little bit of clothes as possible. So that is legal.
Keep yourself out of jail.
Yes, that is legal. In other words, like, if you can, it's summertime, wear a bathing suit, expose your skin to the sun, preferably without a bunch of suntan lotion, because you want to absorb that sun. You need it. You don't want to burn, but you do want to expose your skin to that sun to be able to absorb vitamin D.
Balls. You said it.
Exposing Darkness said, I really want to go on the low-carb cruise, but I don't know how I will like cruising and how expensive it will be for a single.
Reach out to Debbie.
So if you want to go on the low-carb cruise, Debbie will help with arranging a cabin mate. Even for us, like, we have a couple people who are looking for a cabin mate if someone's looking to go in December. I know we have at least one lady who has a single and wants to go, would prefer to have a cabin mate. When it comes to cruising, generally, you're going to pay for the whole cabin. If you don't have a cabin mate, you pay for the whole cabin with the exception of taxes and port fees. So, for example, on the 2KK cruise, if the cabin is $1,000, I believe taxes and port fees are about $140. So you're going to pay for 2 people minus $140. And that's pretty much how it works. As far as cruising, Rachel was terrified, and
I was.
Now she loves it.
Well, and the low carb cruise is going to Alaska next year. So if you're like, hey, I'm willing to risk that it won't be my favorite mode of transportation, I would do that for Alaska, because that really feels like a bucket list trip.
Jamie said we need a Joe's nose waxing video. No. It's bad enough that I admit that I near my back.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Dustin said I second grape salty.
Oh, Dustin, I love you. Why?
Here we go. See, Chris is in here. Black cherry salty, grapefruit salty, yes.
Grapefruit salty, because I do like the one from Element.
We still buy Element. I mean, we actually still have a discount link, where it's on a discount link. It'll get you a free sample pack. It's down below in the description.
I really like the grapefruit.
We order Element. We pretty much order... we do the chocolate.
Yep.
And then we do the grapefruit.
Yep.
Now, the reason we do chocolate, even though there is a chocolate salty,
is like the granular.
We want the granular for on top of like coffee, things like that. When I just want a chocolate drink, I use salty.
Right.
But when I want like a granular thing, we use Element.
It also tastes really good. Thanks a lot, Donna Joe, for teaching me how to do this. But if you have balls of cream cheese, and you put that Element down and you roll those balls in the chocolate Element, it's really good, because again, it's very granular, and then you've got the soft cream cheese. It makes for like a very easy do-it-yourself fat bomb.
Exposing Darkness said it must be an age thing because I didn't have great medicine, but I'm older than Rachel and Miriam.
Dimetapp.
I didn't have Dimetapp.
Cherry.
We never had that. The only thing we were ever given as a kid was Robitussin.
We did get Robitussin.
And that's cherry.
Yeah.
Cherry is very difficult to make anything.
My father
and not taste like medicine.
was very much like, I think his name Gus from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Instead of spraying Windex on everything, my father thought that all of the societal ills could be solved with a combination. I want to really emphasize that. A combination of the regular... NyQuil, the green one. Oh, that's the worst. Green one and orange juice mixed together.
Denise said grape salty.
Green, NyQuil, and orange juice.
Keto Karen said make salty chewing gum.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Remember they made Gatorade chewing gum?
Yeah, but it was like Fruit Stripes gum. It was like chew, done. Disappointment.
Jen said cherry lime salty. Does Chris take requests?
Let's do it.
He doesn't.
Well, but I like. Let's just flood it with what else you want to have.
Dorothy said, "Thank you, Joe. I can't get anyone to believe me that beans have no place in chili. No, the original chili recipes, and they don't have tomatoes either. Although it tastes really good.
It does taste good with tomatoes."
Andrew said elbow macaroni. I remember being low on elbow macaroni, so to stretch it, we would cut it with king crab.
Oh, nice. Oh my gosh.
I'm deep into watching Deadliest Catch again. And thanks to Andrew, I've gotten back into watching Bering Sea Gold.
But he's only watching it, Andrew, because he's looking in like the sides of every shot to see if he can somehow see you in them. He's like, wait, do you think that's Andrew right there?
I love that shit so bad, but I still love it. Trish said, we had 6 kids in a house and dad was a barber. My mom could make a meal out of any animal protein. We would ask what it was, and she would just say, it's meat. Mostly offal from a local butcher.
Don't ask a lot of questions, okay? It's meat. It's what's for dinner. That's what we're having is dinner. Or they would say things like at school, I remember they would just call it like hot plate food. It's just like, what is that? Lunch.
Reese said, as a child, Mom made what she called American goulash, which was basically hamburger helper, macaroni with meat and tomato sauce. I loved it. It was her way of getting me to eat vegetables. Too.
Right.
It's like
kitchen sink.
I just remember, like, and I did this with John Paul when he was young, too. My mother would get her, like, why are you ruining vegetables? Because you put cheese on everything, right? How do you get a kid to eat vegetables? Put cheese on it. Cheese on Brussels sprouts, cheese on broccoli. Turns out we were doing the right thing all along.
Yeah, but we needed to just take out the elbow macaroni and the rice and all the other filler garbage.
We're going to skip ahead a little bit. Trish said, can you tell us more about the online conference that you mentioned coming up in September, please?
So it's going to be September 15th through the 17th. It's the Keto Diet Summit. I will have more information to share after September 1st. So I'll make sure as soon as they're going to be sending us some more information about it and everybody that's going to be involved in it.
Lots of great speakers.
Amazing.
Maria Emmerich, I know.
I do know Maria and Craig are both going to be speaking, but there's lots of speakers, and it is a 3-day conference. It looks like it's going to be held more in the evening time, and I will say that although it is a free conference, they're going to have a VIP option, and every single speaker, including us, are going to be providing something extra and like special for anybody that gets the VIP package. So like, you know, like we're going to have coaching sessions, for instance. And
right.
so, but everybody's going to have different giveaways that go with that.
That's pretty cool. I'm really excited about it. We did it, I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
I think it was 2 years ago.
But it's a really good conference. And again, all of the talks are free. If you get the VIP package, you can watch them later. If you just go the free option, you have to watch them when they air, and then that's going to be it.
But wait until after September 1st. I know that they're going to be doing a little bit of like testing, making sure all of the online platforms work correctly. So give them a couple of days.
I think we're going to have a link for it, too.
We'll have a link for it, but we don't have anything yet.
Okay. Aaron said, today's lesson is always read the label. I got 2 pans of fresh
Preformed
meatballs
from Meijer.
From Meijer's for a half price. I didn't check the label, and the third ingredient is cracker crumbs. Yeah, usually meatballs, they're adding bread or something like that.
It's
always very disappointing. John said, I'm so happy my AC in my bedroom is working again after 2 weeks of siphoning cool air from another room. Needed a new compressor. Ouch. Expensive, but worth it with the 105-degree heat index.
I tell you what, I actually showed this morning, like I was getting my personal walks in. It's like 5:45 in the morning I'm out walking. 5:30 in the morning I'm out walking because it's just too hot.
I've been working on the truck for 2 days.
I think you've probably...
Half of the time spent actually filming video.
Changing
It's
shirts.
like a total of like 2 hours of work if you were to do it on your own, but I'm 2 days into filming. 50% of that time was wardrobe changes. Because
on Joe.
I was just drenched. It was just like... I was like, I don't know how to even film this. Like, there's sweat pouring off of me. I finally just said, you know what? I'm going to be sweating, and I apologize in the video for sweating.
I cannot not sweat. I'm trying my best. You even said, like, you may see it in the future if he's doing installation stuff, that it's just going to be black shirts.
I said, I'm going to start wearing black shirts because at least you can't tell my shirt's drenched.
It's literally, so he came in, I thought...
But then I'm wearing a black shirt in a hot Florida sun.
I thought he fell in the pool. That's how wet he was.
And I haven't cut my head on this installation yet.
You cut here and here.
Yeah, but this was shaving, and there was like something on my head, like a pimple or a scab, and I went over it. But I didn't damage it from working under the truck. That's the important part.
High five.
Dorothy said, I think I got my functional fitness in on Tuesday. Had to stack 4,740 total pounds of deer corn.
Oh, I think you got it.
Had a hero come along to stack the last 3 50-pound bags, or it would have been 150 pounds more.
I definitely think you get credit for functional fitness, Miss Dorothy. Oh, my gracious.
At that point, I think I would have just said, you know what? There's only 150 pounds left. Go. You're not helping now.
No, now
Thanks for showing up.
Right.
It's like when the kids were little and we'd come home with like 50 shopping bags. Everybody's got to go to the bathroom when you go, hey, help unload the car.
We made it a policy that we're not unloading the car until everybody goes to the bathroom.
Right. Then as you're coming in with the last bag, oh, I'm done. Well, it's a little late now.
That's why you have to have everybody get out, get to the bathroom, get a drink, and then we'll go unload the car.
Lynn said, will you say who your realtor is? I don't know her last name. Her name is Aurelia.
Aurelia is her first name.
She is born and raised in Arcadia.
I want to say her last name is
And if you're moving
Vasquez.
to that area, she's amazing.
Amazing.
She knows everybody. She really led us in the right direction. And, we were thinking about using people that we knew. She responds to emails. Now, sometimes you have to ask her something and she has to get the answer from the owners who do not respond to phone calls.
But that's not her fault.
But she was able to really point us in the right direction. And I think that if you're going to move to an area, find a realtor who really knows that area, is born and raised in that area, especially a small town. Because she was able to really guide us, like, no, you don't want to go over here. No, this is a problem that you may have with this.
Well, one thing I really liked is that she goes to all the city planning meetings. She goes to, like, a lot of meetings for, like, future business leaders. So she knows who's coming into the town and, like, establishing businesses. Like, I just really felt like she was super educated on everything.
Even helping us find inspectors for the well. She was like, here's 3 options. They're all good. This person, though, lives in the town and, like, is going to show up if you have a problem later. Like, so it's up to you. She didn't tell us to use a specific person. She just said, these are the best people in the area. I would pick one of them because, again, and we believe in supporting local business. We're buying a shipping container. We could buy it from a lot of different places. We're buying it from somebody who's in Arcadia because we want to support local farmers and local businesses. Eileen said, I have no gallbladder, but it seems to have worked itself out on its own. I don't make any modifications.
That's good to
sometimes
know.
It just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, but thanks for making yourself available, Eileen, because then, if anybody has any follow-up questions.
So John said, my wife has no gallbladder. It took her a few months to be able to handle the high-fat meals without issues. You just need more time for your body to adjust.
That's good.
Oh, Robin said Celsius is on sale at Publix. 12-pack for $18.99. Ooh, that's a good price.
That is a good price.
And buy 2 4-packs at $8.99 and get a free one. So 12-pack for $18.
I like it.
It's like a double sale.
We
stocked up on Amazon Prime Day.
Yeah.
Now I have to move it all.
But the only thing is that you didn't get as variety of flavors. You may get more variety of flavors this way.
Yeah. Mary said, I just dehydrated 4 pounds of bacon that I marinated in dill pickle juice and added a bit of extra dill. It was delicious, and I had to force myself to stop eating it.
Girl, we gonna be making that. That sounds good.
I actually really want to get the Scrummy Sweets syrup and try to make bacon jerky covered in that.
Oh, that's gonna be delicious. I will say, so we got the Gather and Grill book from the McLemore boys when we were at the RV Unplugged season 2 finale rally last week. And what was really cool was I started going through the book when I got home thinking, I wonder if there's anything that we can use in here. And there is a lot of recipes that I believe that we can easily make keto. And I'll tell you one thing that we've never done before, but I know is going to taste amazing is a half a pickle, wrap it in a piece of bologna, wrap all of that in bacon and smoke it together. The pickle, the bologna, and the bacon, like on the grill and smoked. I think that's going to be delicious.
Okay, so Jesse has a question for Rachel. Have you found any interesting ways to eat kimchi? Interesting, I would say weird. And what protein does it pair best with?
I really think that kimchi pairs excellent with, like, fried eggs. I think that I think it's really good with chicken as well. Of course, I eat it cold. I think you can incorporate it into a salad very easily. So if you're making something, and even if you're making like taco salad, ground beef salad, or you're making a chicken salad, I think that it works fine. Check and make sure if you're thinking, hey, I just want to like start getting into slowly this. I would look for things that don't have fish sauce in it to start, because they do use fish sauce in some of the different brands, and that can have a strong flavor. Versus if you start out with ones like we get at Sprouts or Whole Foods, they're pretty mild. And there's usually mild versions, and then there's also spicy. So be sensitive to that. Make sure that if you're somebody that's very sensitive to spice, that you get the mild. Because in my opinion, when I've tried to get a spicy one, woo, it's spicy.
Okay, so Aaron said, for those getting into trades, make sure people remember community colleges.
Yes.
It has college in the name, but many or most of them also do training for the trades.
Very good.
I will tell you this, if somebody's interested in going into a trade, don't forget, if you have children or grandchildren wanting in a trade, one of the best ways is to go to local businesses, like local, larger electrical companies or even smaller ones and plumbing companies, and say, would you consider taking me on as an apprentice? So
Yeah.
John Paul became an electrician. We actually had a customer who was an electrician.
We cut their grass.
We hired him to change out our electrical panel when we bought this house because the insurance company wouldn't cover us because of the panel. He came over, John Paul helped him, and then he basically said, would you be interested in helping me? He was just getting ready to graduate from high school, and so a lot of times what they'll do is they'll hire you on as an apprentice. So you're working, and it was a decent salary.
Yeah.
And then they paid for him to go to school 2 nights a week to learn all the code. And then when he was done, he was able to graduate, but the entire time he was working, and he already, once he graduated, which was like 3 years or something like that, he had enough hours working to immediately get his journeyman license and then his master electrician license.
Yeah.
And it didn't cost him 1 penny. And it's on-the-job training because school
Right.
will teach you the code, but hands-on, especially with something like electrical or plumbing, that's going to be the way to learn it. Joe said he is looking for a male cabin mate for the low-carb cruise of 2025. I don't know. If I keep it up with Rachel, I may have to be your cabin mate.
Yes. You may have, that may be secured, Joe.
Well, you take Joe's cabin because Joe usually likes inside cabins.
Okay.
And Joe can come into
And
the
stay
balcony.
with you.
Yeah.
Okay, that seems correct.
Andrew said, for making your homemade jerky, can you vacuum pack it and put a label on it from 2KK
Oh, that
Farms?
would be really cute.
So could we,
I think
for our own personal use,
you have
as far as selling it, meat does not fall under whatever, I forget what that
Cottage?
the cottage laws. You cannot do meat in cottage laws. Things like spices and things like that, but you can't do meat for cottage law. But could we or you make up a name for a company and slap a label on something vacuum
yes.
sealed? Well, yeah,
I
because
bet-
then it is a pre-packaged food.
I bet
You
would,
just prepackaged it.
you wouldn't have very much trouble getting on a ship with it.
I think when they're talking about prepackaged, don't come with just a handful of lunch meat in your hand. you
there
know?
may be lunch meat in my pant pocket.
Okay, a couple more. Angie said, Joe, what is the name of the farm documentary you guys were watching?
It was.
You put it on.
Oh man, I will find that, Angie, and I will
Post
make
it in
sure
Mighty Networks.
that I post it.
Okay, last one from Karen. There's stevia and salty. I cannot use any flavors with other sweeteners. So every electrolyte that I know of has stevia as a sweetener. For salty, I don't know why you can't have the stevia. If it's because you have an allergy, Keto Chow or salty is using a very purified version of stevia that people who have ragweed issues seem to tolerate. So if that is something that you're concerned about, you might want to reach out to Keto Chow or Salty. It's really Keto Salty by Keto Chow. But reach out to them and ask them about that. I generally do not like stevia, but the versions that they're using is very, very purified, and it does not have that bitter taste. And again, people have ragweed issues, that's been removed. So some of the newer forms of stevia that people are using are not the same as the original stuff.
Don't forget the capsules, because then you can just get rid of the
And
whole
you can always
issue.
get unflavored.
Yeah, clean slate.
But all of the 3 major electrolytes, Element, Salty, and Redmond, they all use stevia, and so does Perfect Keto. Okay, that's going to be it. We're going to get off because we got a lot to do still.
Got to get big morning.
We got a big
You
morning.
can be ready for tomorrow morning.
Oh, we have a vlog coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
From when we were at the Keto Orlando Summit. A lot of it is just kind of goofing around.
As we do.
And
as we
as we
tend
do.
to. And then next week we're going to have our vlog from the finale rally.
Yep, and then we do have the tasty video coming out and a couple other things. So, okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, again, we will be live again on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time for Keto Beyond the Couch.
From the RV.
Everyone have a good night.
Love you guys.